Too many people are speeding through life, constantly staring in their rearview mirror and crashing while trying to outrun their past. But you can't outrun your past. You have to embrace your past. You have to embrace your past mistakes and understand that helps you become a better form of you. But see, so many people can't understand that. So many people can't accept that. See, so many of us, we try to outrun our shadows. We run as fast as we can. I mean, we run as fast as we ever can, like we in a track meet. We running around corners. We hiding behind dumpsters, hiding behind walls. We hiding under cars. We try to outrun our shadows because our shadows represent something that we hate. Many of us hate. It's our ugly past. It's our past atrocities, past mistakes that we made. We may have crossed somebody once. We may have been denied something once. We may have broken up with someone broken up with us. We may be embarrassed by something we used to do, something we used to say, how we used to dress. And those embarrassments are something that we want to hide. We want to hide those deep inside of our closet. We want to bury them in a box and we want to hide them deep inside our closet. But however, they just won't stay. No matter how many times you turn around and told your shadow, stop following me, it just keeps on following. No matter how fast you walk, it walks equally as faster. No matter how fast you run, it runs even faster. And it just stays on you. And our shadows represents our past. We can't outrun our past, people. So what can we do? If we can't outrun our past, how do we deal with it? How do we deal with this ugly shadow that won't leave us alone? You gotta learn to embrace it. You have to learn to embrace your past no matter how bad it is. Because the moment you learn to embrace your past, no one can no longer use your past against you. They can't use it. You've been at a barbecue, you've been at a family function, and people bring up your past. People do it to me all the time. Bring up my past mistakes, past things I used to do as a child. And they do it with the simple meaning of embarrassing you because they feel like they're going to embarrass you. Some people do it because they feel like this. Well, if I shine a brighter light on you, then your shadow will be more exposed. Your past, your history will be more exposed while keeping mine in the dark. Because think about it for a second, people. When you shine a brighter light on you, notice that your shadow stands out more. Your shadow gets more exposed, it gets bigger. Now, when you put yourself in a dark room, in a dark area, what happens? Your shadow starts to disappear. It starts to fade into the darkness. It starts to disappear. So that's what people do. They shine light on you and your embarrassments to highlight your shadow while trying to move theirs into the dark where nobody notices their past embarrassments. So when you have barbecue, when you're out, people bring up your past in order to try to highlight and embarrass you while keeping theirs way in the back. Way in the back. But you notice something though, people? You notice they never bring up the good things you do. Yeah, they talk about the time where, you remember Shirley used to pee the bed? Shirley used to pee the bed all the time. You remember how Shirley used to pee the bed? We had this crazy nickname for her. But they don't never talk about the fact that Shirley came up with new medicine to cure cancer or to cure lupus. They don't talk about that. We're not going to talk about Shirley's true accomplishments. We're not going to talk about how Shirley stopped pissing the bed, and now she's the person who invented medicine that prevents and stops and kills off lupus or kills off cancer. We're not going to talk about that because, see, if we highlight Shirley's accomplishments, then again, now we're shining light on what we haven't done and what they haven't done. So they have to sit here and talk about the fact that Shirley pissed the bed while truly hiding the fact that Shirley has grown to be a great, successful young woman who accomplishing things that they couldn't imagine accomplishing. I mean, think about it, people. That dude Eric, you remember Eric, your cousin Eric? Remember cousin Eric used to always go to the store and steal fruit roll-ups and Capri Suns? Remember cousin Eric used to do that all the time? Remember cousin Eric had a stuttering problem at one point? But you don't want to talk about the fact that now cousin Eric is sitting on Supreme Court. You don't want to talk about now that cousin Eric has switched himself from stealing fruit roll-ups and Capri Suns, and now he becomes he's one of the top judges on the Supreme Court. You don't want to talk about that because, see, if you talk about the fact that cousin Eric has accomplished something, it again highlights the fact that you haven't. And it starts to shine a brighter light on their shadow, which they're trying to hide. They want to talk about your cousin Eric's stuttering problem, but they don't want to talk about the fact that cousin Eric is now one of the greatest speakers in the world. Why is that, people? People don't want to highlight the fact that you do well. They want to talk about when you was a crackhead, but they don't want to talk about the fact that you saved 10 crackheads from a burning building. They want to talk about you as a crackhead, but they don't want to talk about the fact that since then, you changed your life. They want to talk about when you stole your mom's TV and you couldn't trust you around the house because you would steal all appliances. So you're the person now that's helping other people get off drugs, and you're the person now that's helping family members who can't afford appliances to get them. They don't want to talk about your perfect present, but they want to talk about your heinous past. They want to highlight your shadows, people. But if you embrace your shadows, you embrace the fact that you was a crackhead, that you had certain problems, that you peed a bit at one point, that you used to steal fruit roll-ups and Capri Suns, then when you begin to embrace your past mistakes and no longer allow yourself to be embarrassed by things that you've done wrong, you take away all people's ammunition to be able to attack, to be able to embarrass you and use these stories. See, people do it to me, like, I used to do certain things, yeah, I used to play with Ninja Turtles, yeah, I did, I used to play with Ninja Turtles. You're doing all right. I was a kid. What you want me to do? What was I supposed to do as a kid? I wasn't supposed to play Ninja Turtles. What was I supposed to do? Sit around and smoke weed because that's what you was doing? Nah, I'm good. I don't want to smoke weed. You do that. That's great for you. How's that working out for you now? I'll wait. I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to do that. That comes off defensive. And we have to stop doing that, right? I can't do that. I want to bring off and shine light on yours because that makes me sound defensive. Yeah, I used to play with Ninja Turtles, people. I did used to play with Ninja Turtles. You know? To have a good time playing Ninja Turtles. I used to play video games. I used to play video games online. But I grew out of these things. And I became a successful person, a business owner, a father, a husband, an uncle. I had become something so much bigger and greater than what I once was. And deeper than that, I made even worse mistakes at playing Ninja Turtles. See, playing Ninja Turtles is not a mistake. But I had made mistakes. I had made mistakes in relationships where I was too immature and not ready to truly understand and appreciate certain relationships I was in. I had bad breakups that were truly my fault. In the last episode when we talked about it, it's not you, it's me. It was me. I was the reason. And I feel bad about it to this day, but sometimes I look at myself and I feel bad about it and I think about it, but not in terms of, I missed that person. I think about how I mishandled that situation. Then I look to myself and say, but you're the man you are now because of the mistakes you made then. You appreciate your wife better. You made those mistakes, but you have to understand you made those mistakes, but you have to learn to forgive yourself for the things that you've done wrong. And that's something else we have to do, people. We get so caught up in what we have done wrong that we forget to forgive ourselves. People forgive us before we forgive ourselves. And I put myself in a situation sometimes where I forget to forgive myself for things I've done wrong and recognize that, you made those past mistakes to learn and understand that at that time, you wasn't ready for that relationship. You wasn't ready for that situation. It wasn't because you was trying to be hurtful. It was just that you wasn't ready. And now you have grown. You have a wife that loves you. You have a wife that you love. You have 3 beautiful children. Why? Because now you are ready for the situation. Then you wasn't. Now there's some people who's gonna come along and they'll try to continue to rehash that situation. Rehash the fact that you messed up that relationship with that young lady. Okay, but no, guess what? I hope that young lady or that person is well right now. And you should feel the same way about somebody in your life. Somebody right now is telling you right now, you messed up that situation at your job, but right now you got a job that you're happy with. But people keep bringing up the fact that you messed up those good benefits. But guess what? Now I even got better benefits, because one of the better benefits I got right now is the happiness, the peace, the joy I have. And there's something that you can't spend money on. There's something the job can't give you. There's something another person can't give you, but you got to give yourself. But in order to give yourself peace, joy, and happiness, what you must do, people, and I must continue to say the word must, even though I said must probably 4 or 5 times right now. You must embrace your past. You must forgive yourself for what you've done in your past. You must embrace the most embarrassing stories about you so that no one can use these stories against you. You got to forgive yourself so that these things no longer try to haunt you. So you're no longer running from your past, no longer speeding through life, crashing into walls, crashing into trash cans, crashing into people's houses and cars because you're trying to outrun your past. You got to stop living staring in the rear view. How many of you right now? How many of you right now who have a driver's license, or some of you driving illegal, I ain't judging you. Some of y'all driving without insurance, I ain't judging you, but you might want to get some insurance. 6 months probation, $1,500 fine. I'm just saying, people, get some damn insurance. All right, but some of you people right now, how many of you people right now driving the car right now, and when you drive in your car, you ride down the street, you speeding on the highway, how many of you are spending the entire time you driving staring in the rearview mirror at your past? What's behind you? How many of you staring in your side mirrors about what's on the side of you, what's behind you? How many of you right now drive down the road staring at your mirrors? I'm not talking about your phone. I'm talking about in your rearview mirror. I guarantee you, less than 1% of you, and I hope less than that, It's saying I drive staring at my rearview mirror. So ask yourself one simple question, people. Why are you driving through life staring at your rearview mirror, worrying about what's behind you, instead of doing what you do when you're driving, staring in front of you, worrying about what's ahead of you, what's in your future, and embracing what's in your future, focusing on what's your future, focusing on the moves you need to make, how you going to maneuver through traffic so you can get to your destination quicker. You ain't hearing me though, people. You standing in your rear view so long driving through life that you missing the point. You missing the bigger picture. You focusing on a past that you can't do nothing about. See, whatever's going on behind you, you can't do anything about it. If you slam on your brakes, all you can do is make somebody crash into you. That's behind you. You can't, if you steer your wheel, all you can do is cause somebody to respond and react to you in a negative way. Because now, I got to get out of your way or something, you're going to crash into you. So you can't control what's behind you. But what's in front of you, you have a self-ability to control. You got ability to change what's going on behind you. You got ability to positively affect what's going on ahead of you if you focus on what's in front of you. But too many of us allow people, and most importantly ourselves, to affect us in a way where we focus on staring in the rearview mirror and not in our future. Not focusing on the blessings that's ahead of us. We're not focusing on contributing and getting to our destination, not only getting to our destination, but getting to our destination intact, in one piece, safely. We're so focused on what's behind us, somebody cutting us off, and now we done drove past them. We're still sticking our middle finger up in the freaking rearview mirror. Why are you worried about that person cut you off? You ahead of them now. Now that you're ahead of that person, put whatever they did behind you. Focus on your future. Focus on who in front of you and avoiding allowing the same thing to happen to you again. Don't focus on the negativity. We got to stop trying to outrun our past, embrace our past, and focus on a perfect future. Y'all ain't hearing me, though. So I'm going to go a different direction with it, people. Oh, I'm going to go a different direction. Because we're going to do 2 for 1 right here. Shadows. Shadows, people. This is the name of today's episode, Shadows. See, because some of us, our problem is not trying to outrun our past. Some of us is not trying to outrun our past. We're not trying to outrun our past. Some of us completely oblivious to our past. So right now, what we trying to outrun is our future. We trying not even to outrun our future. We trying to outrun our present. Because right now, in our present, we in a difficult situation, a scary situation. What's the scary situation? What does that do with shadows? Think about this, people. Some of you as children, and more of you as adults. You laying in your bed at night. Maybe you in your room alone. You notice when the light comes through your windowsill and you see the trees outside and you see things that looks like it's a monster or something. Looks like the tree branches look like some claws coming down on you. You ever made like hand puppets on the walls and stuff at night, and you can make all kinds of things. You can turn into a bunny rabbit, you can turn into a dragon if you got skills. You turn all these different things, and you start to see that the biggest nation in the world lives inside you. Your imagination is the biggest nation in the world. And your imagination allows you to create monsters that don't exist. You see tree branches, and all of a sudden tree branch is some kind of monster towering over your bed, ready to take the life out of you. Your imagination turns these shadows reflecting on your wall to something bigger. You see somebody walking down the hall, and they look like they're 8 feet tall, and truthfully, they're only 4 feet tall. These shadows turn to big monsters, and our imagination allow us to create something, these monsters that are coming to attack us. But once they start to expose themselves, once the light shine on them, once they run from us, we realize, oh, that monster that was in my windowsill wasn't a monster at all. It was tree branches. Oh, that 8-foot man that was coming was only a 4-foot person, and it was my child. But I was scared of my child. I was scared of tree branches. I was scared of the wind, because that's what happens in our current life. What does these shadows have to do with our current life and what we're afraid of? So many things in our life right now, we are creating monsters because our imagination is creating these shadows to make it look like monsters exist in real life, exist in our lives. We're afraid to leave a job right now because we're afraid of our imagination creating a scenario of a shadow that overtakes us, that if we leave this job, that we can never go to a job that will ever make more money. That if we leave this job and go somewhere else, we will not only be able to make more money, we're going to leave this job and go to somewhere else where it's going to even be worse. I can't possibly find peace at another job. I can't find happiness at another job. And I'm going to explain to you how and why you can't find it in 1 second. So many of us live with this shadow, this monster, this boogeyman, this imaginary boogeyman that scares us so much that we refuse ourselves to find a partner. A partner in life. Not only a partner, a business partner. I'm talking about actual partner. A husband, a wife. We're afraid to have it because these shadows, the boogeyman, those tree branches scaring us so much that we're afraid that if you actually find a partner, they're going to become what's in our imagination them to be. What we create in our imagination, the worst case scenario situation is going to exist if we find this person. We allow these shadows to overtake us and cause fear in us. We allow shadows to continue to display fear when we want to buy a car. We want to do anything in life, anything positive. We let these shadows draw this fear because if we look out that window, we're scared to go look out the window, see what's really lurking outside of a window because it looks like it's a giant monster. But when you open it up, it's just some wind blowing, some tree branches. And during the day, it don't seem as ominous, but at night, oh Lord, it's just the scariest thing in the world. When you see your child walking down the hall, you see this 8-foot person, you scared you got your child. You scared of your own happiness. You scared of your own peace. Because you allowed the greatest nation in the world, the biggest nation in the world, to overpower, to overshadow your future, your current happiness, your joy, your peace. You have allowed your imagination to work against you, to destroy you and become your biggest enemy, your biggest fear, and your biggest deter from actually going out and getting what you want, achieving what you want, going for what you want. But I said I'll go back to in a second. I said I'll go back to a second when I said, Joe, when you want to leave a job, you're afraid you can't find peace, happiness, joy, and all that at a job because you know those tree branches, once again, they still overshadowing you. But see, here's the point that you're missing. You're right. You can't go to a job and expect peace, happiness, joy. You can't go to a different position, different manager. Trust me, I tried it. And find peace and happiness. What I've learned, people, is you have to find peace, happiness, and joy inside yourself. You have to create these things inside yourself and carry them with you to another job. You not only have to carry them with you, you have to protect them, people. You have to protect them. We often talk about protection, don't we? We talk about protection, not only sexually protection, buying condoms, wrapping it up, and all that type of thing. I'm not talking about that type of protection, people. We talk about at night you lock your doors, you put chain locks on, you deadbolt your doors. We talk about you put your money in safe places, like a safe, or between your mattress, or some women put them in their bra. You put in a safe place because you're protecting your valuables. You're protecting the things that are most valuable to you. Well, here's something you have to protect. You have to protect your peace, your happiness, your joy. So once you find it inside yourself, now you must protect it. Because when you go to a different job, when you go to a different position, those shadows are going to they're going to creep up on you again. Those tree branches are going to creep up on you with their long looking nails and their big teeth that seem like it's drooling coming down when in reality it's a tree branch, but the imagination is going to create this monster. You will see a 4-foot person walking down your hall, but the shadow is going to make it look like they're 8 feet tall coming along. But see, your protection of your peace, your joy, and happiness is what's going to fight off those shadows. When you finally realize that your imagination is creating these things, then you're going to realize these boogeymans that you have created in your mind truly does not exist. And you protecting your peace, your happiness. So when you go to a job, you're not going to a new position, a new job with the mindset that, yo, this job is going to produce a level of happiness and peace in my life, but it's already lives there because no matter what storm, no matter what's going on around me, I know that I'm protected because I've chosen to protect myself. I'm using my imagination to block out any noise that you have going on around you, any unhappiness, unrest that you going around me, any storm that you got going around you, I'm blocked from it. I'm impervious to the pain that you have, and I'm focused on using my imagination, once again, the biggest nation in the world, to create something different. I'm sitting at the beach right now, waves are flowing, I'm in a beach chair. I don't drink, but some of you do. You got a Corona, ice cold Corona, a Heineken, you got a Long Island iced tea, a mojito, whatever your vice is. And that's where your imagination puts you at. No matter what the storm and the chaos that's going around you, you put yourself in a place where, look, I'm at peace, I'm at happiness, I'm in joy. I know everybody else around here is panicking and stressed out because the deadline coming, and you looking at me like, yo, why are you so calm? Why are you so calm? Because see, you allowing these tree branches to scare you. You allowing these shadows to scare you. These shadows don't scare me because see, I got tired of being laying in my bed, putting the covers over my eyes, hiding from these shadows. I walked to the door and curtain, pulled it back to see what the hell's out there. Is it really a monster? Or is it just some tree branches out there? And when I opened the window curtains, what I seen was that those shadows were nothing more than tree branches. So what? I'm scared of tree branches? I'm chopping the tree branches down tomorrow. They ain't gonna keep scaring me. I chop those tree branches down the next day, so the next time the wind is blowing at night and I wake up in the middle of the night, I don't see tree branches. I don't see that shadow no more because it no longer exists because I eliminated it. And when I eliminate it, what did I create and put in its place? because you can't leave that space empty. I put peace, happiness, and joy in that place, and now that's why I walk through life embracing my shadows, embracing it, because the shadow that follows me now is peace, happiness, and joy, people. I hope you're hearing this message today. Woo, I hope you're getting this today, because I'm telling you, right now, somebody right now is at work dealing with this. Somebody right now is in the middle of a storm, and somebody's about to get themselves out of a storm. Somebody right now running their fastest, trying to outrun a shadow and outrun their past, and is about to embrace their past. Somebody right now is speeding through life, trying not to crash while staring in their rearview mirror. And somebody's about to stop looking in their rearview mirror today, and somebody's going to look out the front of their window and see the perfect future that's ahead of them. And they're going to make things happen, and they're going to change it. Somebody today is going to change their lives. Somebody today is going to stop being fearful of shadows. Somebody today is going to stop letting people use their past to dictate their future, use their past to embarrass them. Somebody today is going to grow from today's situation. Let us say, people, I ain't perfect. I don't sit in front of this camera and sit here and preach to y'all like, yeah, I'm perfect. I got all things figured out, and I got it all figured out. No, I don't have all things figured out, but what I do have is the ability to try to figure out issues to my problems, and I address my problems as they come along. I share with you the information that I have learned, the information I have applied to my life, and the information I'm still applying to my life. I stand in front of you and I sit in front of you as a person that is equal of you, a person that is equal of mistakes, a person that is equal of sins, a person that continues to make mistakes despite the fact that I'm trying to change them. I am standing in front of you as a person that one time was running from my shadows and hiding them and embarrassing my past while ignoring my perfect present and my even better future. But at some point I had to learn. I had to learn, people, just like you have to learn. Then no matter how fast I ran, I can't outrun my shadows. No matter how many times I try to hide from the tree branches, they just won't go away until I come away. No matter how many times I try to run, I couldn't replace peace and happiness, joy, because I was looking for a place, a person to give me peace, happiness, and joy, when I didn't realize I had to learn the hard way that the only way to obtain peace, happiness, and joy is within myself. And once I created that and I learned that, then I embraced that and I found that inside myself, so that now my objective, my job, my goal is to protect that peace, happiness, and joy in myself, so that no one can deter it, destroy it, or affect it again. My job right now is to share this information with you so that you can do the same thing without having to take the long, hard road that I took, without having to take the faults, the downfalls that I had to take. I'm hoping that you can listen, that you're hearing me, that you're truly hearing and taking in the information that I'm giving to you, not only on this episode, but all episodes, so that you can continue to grow from it. I understand that you think you're the fastest person in the world. But in high school, you used to run track, and they used to call you lightning. They used to call you Bolt. But no matter how fast you ran on that track, if you stop and look behind you 1 second when you're running, you notice that shadow was running as fast as you. It was on your heels, not your competitors. Your competitors may have been 3 feet behind you, but that shadow was right on your heels. And when you cross that finish line, that shadow crossed that finish line with you. What I'm telling you right now is, people, it's time to stop trying to outrun your shadow and learn to embrace your shadow. It's time to stop trying to outrun your past and learn to embrace your past. It's time to stop trying to hide from these creepy little things that's creeping through your window and these shadows that's coming to you at night, and learn to embrace it. It's time for us to start going to doctor's appointments to check our cholesterol. And look, I need to do it. My wife going to listen to this and say, well, when are you going to go? I'm going to go to the doctors, okay, babe? I'm going to go to the doctors. I'm going to check all these things, get these tests done. Seriously, though, people. We need to go to the doctors and stop being afraid to see what our cholesterol levels are, our fat levels, and what we need to do, and be willing to find out these things, even though it scares us to death. You women, you need to stop being afraid to go get mammograms. I know it hurts when they smash your titties down and all that, but find out if, you know what I mean, get your mammograms done and make sure that you don't have cancer. Men, we need to get our colon checked for colon cancer. I know it's scary to get these things, but you need to get them done. I understand these shadows put some fear in all of our hearts because we rather not know and live in the dark without knowing, but it's more important that we know, because we give ourselves more of a fighting chance if we catch these things early than catch them late. It's time for us to not only recognize these things, but recognizing that we need to make a change, that we have the ability to make a change, that we can't focus on staring at our past, because no matter how you stare, unless you stare at your past, no matter how much you hate or dislike your past, unless somebody has created a time machine that I have not heard of, not seen, we can't go back and change our past, but we can focus on changing one thing. We can focus on changing our perfect present and our soon-to-be future. And that's what we need to focus on. Stop allowing people to make you feel embarrassed about things you did. Be honest about your past. Be honest about the mistakes you made. Be honest about the person you was. But even more, shine light, highlight, and remind people about, yeah, I was that person, but don't forget who I am. Because you may have been a klepto and you may have started stealing, but I'm no longer that person. Because I know some people don't feel like you can grow, but you need to remind people, I have and I can grow, and I will grow, and I will continue to grow. And if you can't understand that, if you can't appreciate and respect my perfect presence, if you can't respect and appreciate my peace, then you need to move out of my life and remove those people to protect your peace. Because if they ain't for your peace, then they're against your peace. I am Alan the Great, and I want to thank you for joining me for another episode of the Past to Present Podcast. Please like, comment, share this video. Please subscribe. And until next time I talk to you people, stay woke, stay focused, stay tuned. Peace.